All right, man. Torture Talk. You know what it is, man. All right, so look, man, today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Dr. Umar basically not confronting physically or in person, but confronting DL Hughley on some things. DL Hughley, always say Hughley. It's DL Hughley on some things. And yes, we're going to get into that. Before I get into that, I got to get my spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, but one in the chat, all the fellas. Y'all know where to find the ones that just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, Cash App is in the description. And call me the Hidden Gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13,000. And yes, I am the King of the North. Let me know what kingdom you from. So let's get right to it, man. You know what it is. Torture Talk. Let's go. All right, so this comes courtesy of Chink Smooth. You know what it is. So let's get it, man. Let's go.
Dr. Umar Johnson, my brother, you are being summoned to the front of the congregation. We just want to have a word with you, my brother. Now, 3 months ago, Umar Johnson challenged DL Hughley, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley to a public debate. DL Hughley clowned him and kind of trolled him, telling him, yeah, sure, I'll debate you at your school that you were supposed to build 3 years ago. Now, Dr.
All right, so it's a couple of things I want to say. It's weird that we all three of us are in the camera, right? So all three of us in the camera. So let's see if I can turn my head this way, right? This way. Yeah, it always will be this way. Yeah, all three of us is in the camera, right? Is it tilt this way? Yeah, this way. All right. So here's the thing. The reason why I did that is because there's 3 different black ideologies on the screen right now. You have Dr. Umar, you have DL Hughley, and you have me, right? We have different ideologies. Umar is more on the Pan-African side of things. He is basically mostly more cultural black, like all about black, blackity black. That's it. He don't have a problem with people who date outside the race, but he wouldn't recommend, or he would prefer that people stay with the race. Now he does. I ain't gonna say he doesn't have a problem, but he definitely would say he don't like bunny hoppers, is what he would say. Then you got D.L. Hughley, who basically is a race baiter. Let's just be honest. Like, he's a race baiter. He definitely is a race hustler. He makes money off of us talking about white people, but at the same time, he works for white people. You know what I'm saying? And then you have me. I'm a realist. I just go off of what I believe is right and what I see is right. Whether if it's racism, I'm gonna call it out. If it's somebody black that's doing something nefarious and bad, wild, I'm gonna call it out. I'm not gonna always protect everything that I see because it's coming from a black person, and I'm not gonna always protect everything I see because it's coming from a white person. No, I'm just gonna be real about what I see and what it is, because humans are humans. That's how I look at it. Humans will do some nefarious things. Does not mean if you were black, it doesn't matter. They will do some nefarious things. So, but these two here are very interesting 2 people, because ultimately you would think that they stand for the same thing, but they actually don't. You know what I'm saying? Because one, I would say Dr. Umar is more of a realist, and the other one, not to say that D.L. Hughley isn't a realist, but the other one, he looks at things through the scope of racism mostly. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times you can't really look at things from the scope of racism, because everything ain't always racist. So it's a weird dynamic between these two. That's all I'm gonna say. But let's keep it going.
Umar, brother, we still have not seen that school yet. And not to pocket watch, but it's the same school you've been taking donations for damn near 10 years. DL Hughley recently sat down with DJ Vlad and did an interview. He told Umar, bro, how do you call yourself the King Kong of debate? You do know that King Kong died fighting for a white woman, right? And you guys all...
Sometimes I think a lot of these dudes, a lot of these so-called activists or whatever you want, they just dumb. they're just so stupid to me because I ain't gonna say they're dumb. I give DL Hughley. I don't like DL Hughley like that, but I give him more credit. He's not a stupid guy. He's not stupid. He's just very ignorant and naive to certain things. Now maybe it's just a joke, but King Kong came from where? Africa. Most of those Kong, the Kong comes from the Congo, which would be gorillas. So when he say King Kong, he's not saying that because you're trying to link. You already know Umar is not into white women. So for you to say he died for a white woman, trying to kind of connect him to that is kind of stupid. I don't think that me knowing Dr. Umar is not a guy who would just basically pick a name for something. I 100% don't think he would do that. I think he would literally look this stuff up before he just calls himself anything. Trust and believe that. And I know DL Hughley probably know that, but he's just saying that because the masses, again, this is what race hustlers and race baiters do. They play off of people being stupid. So he know that most people are not going to look that up. They're going to go look up King Kong the movie and see that King Kong fought for a white woman. They're going to say, oh, see, you're referencing a monkey who loves white women. That's basically what they're going to say. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know how Umar feels about white women, especially black men dating white women.
You can't be a hero if you bunny hopping.
But Kobe, God bless the dead.
Right.
MJ, who you both named.
No, I didn't call them role models.
Okay.
I called them the GOATs of basketball.
Okay.
I can't, and Kobe is my personal GOAT. I think he's the greatest basketball player of all time.
Okay.
I can't hang his picture up in the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Damn.
Because you bunny hopped. I think Eddie Murphy. I'm gonna say he's a close second to.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't agree with that because it's gonna be a lot of people who are black historians who did bunny hop, bro. Let's just be clear. Humans are humans, bro. And don't get me wrong. I'm not in a position to tell Dr. Umar who he can't put in his school. He could put whoever in this he feels in the school. But at the same time, I mean, then you ain't gonna be able to put Malcolm X in there. You ain't gonna be able to put maybe Martin Luther King in there. You ain't gonna be able to put a bunch of people in there, bro. It's gonna be a lot of people that's not gonna be able to be in your school. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, you can't, if you're going off of purity, if that's what he's basically saying, he's going off of purity, it's going to be very difficult because people fall in love with people, bro. That's just that. I mean, hey, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Prior, but Eddie's so talented, he may have trumped Richard. But guess what? Eddie and Richard are both bunny hoppers.
Eddie got black baby mamas too, though.
I know, but his wife is.
I don't know. I think she's okay. I don't even know if he's married. Is he married? I don't know.
Well, that last one he was with,
okay.
She was. You see, Dave Chappelle. I love him for his humor. Dave Chappelle ain't married to a black woman. His picture can't go up in my school.
So your argument is if someone's not married to a black woman, that's what your argument is. But what if they're married to? What if they're married? So if it's so, this is my thing. Is your argument a black American woman or a black woman period or a dark skinned woman? That's what I would ask him, because so if I met a woman from Cambodia and she was darker than me, would you say that I'm married to a black woman or darker woman, a dark skinned woman? Because if I marry a woman from Haiti, they don't say that they're black. They say they're Haitian. So that's the question I would have for Umar. How do you determine that? Because people from other countries don't say they're black. They say that they're from that country. A Dominican's going to say they're from Dominican Republic. They're not going to say they're black or dark skinned. Only here we do that. At least from what I know. Maybe I'm stupid and I don't know. Maybe they do it somewhere in El Segundo, somewhere. I don't know. But I'm just saying. So that's the question I would have. But let's continue.
I love him, I like him, but I can't hold you up as a role model, because in order for you to complete that role model process, your queen got to look like your mother.
DL Hughley also said
And again, that's another contradiction because so what you're saying is if someone is a mixed race, they can't be in your school even if they have a black wife because their mother is white or black. If let's say my nephew was he became whatever and but his mom was white and his dad was black, but he had a black wife. You saying that he couldn't be in your school on your wall? You see what I'm saying? How that kind of like is that's a weird thing to do, to eliminate somebody because their mom is white or their dad is white. I just think that's, well, not, you ain't eliminating because of that. You're basically saying you have to look like your mother, but I mean, what if your mother is white? Like, what are you saying? I don't know. Let's keep it going.
He does not support anyone telling people who they can date or telling anybody how to live their lives. Well, this morning, Umar Johnson woke up and he had enough. Hughley also said he does not support anyone telling people who they can date or telling anybody how to live their lives. Well,
DL Hughley, this is what I mean by he is such a fraud. You do that all the time, DL. What are you talking about? You tell black people that they shouldn't vote for certain people because they're racist. You tell black people that they shouldn't do this. You tell black people that all white people are this or white people are that. You do that all the time, bro. What do you mean that you can't tell people what they think and who they shouldn't do? You literally say that white people are all racist. Most of them are racist, bro. Like, how can you say this? And then you say, this is what I mean by a lot of these race baiters. They just be saying anything. And it's crazy. It's crazy that you'll say anything. And then when you get called out on it, then you look stupid. It's crazy. But let's keep it going. Sorry for stopping it.
Your queen got to look like your mother.
DL Hughley also said he does not support anyone telling people who they can date or telling anybody how to live their lives. Well, this morning, Umar Johnson woke up and he had enough of DL. He said, yo, brother DL, why'd you go back on that colonizer's platform again to berate your brother? King Kong consciousness? Firstly, the name Kong comes from Africa and refers to the fact that gorillas are indigenous to the Congo, which has the largest amount of primates in the entire world. My ancestry, amongst other places, includes the Congo and Cameroon, where gorillas are also in high supply. Our beef shouldn't be personal, DL. It was about the business of African liberation. Don't take it personal, bruh. Now, on another note, respectfully, I don't need to come on your platform, DL. In case you haven't noticed, I'm the king of black YouTube, and I'm not even a YouTubian. I'm a Pan-Africanist, scholar activist, psychologist, political scientist, and yet I have more influence in our community than most of you celebrities, with the very big difference being that I didn't have to become an entertainer, athlete, nor sell my soul to be the most popular black grassroots voice in the entire world. That is quite a claim, Umar. Let's stop this beef, brother Hughley. Listen, how about you and I collaborate on building a relevant institution together for our people? It's time for us to level up for the entire African race in 2025. Now,
I'm gonna tell you right now, DL Hughley would not do that. Because number one, DL, I'm just going to say DL because I can't say his last name. It's kind of like Hughley. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sound weird. DL would not team up with King Kong Consciousness because, number one, King Kong Consciousness has a different way about going towards things when it comes to black people. And DL has a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give y'all an example. Like, so you have the hood, right? And in the hood, you have black people who support a certain party, and they're indoctrinated to supporting that party. So they already look at it from that lens, and that's it. They don't look at it from no other lens. Then you got people like Dr. Umar, who comes in and says, well, you need to question that because look at your surroundings. And he's like, nah, everything's good. We good here. These people are helping us. And Umar says, they're not helping y'all. They're helping y'all stay right where y'all at. They're not helping y'all elevate. That's the difference between the two. See, DL is okay with black people staying at that level and not being elevated because he believes through race baiting and racism, he can keep black people. I ain't gonna say keep happy with that, but he believes that black people will have an open eye towards things and maybe move up that way. On the other hand, Dr. Umar is looking at it like, well, no, these people haven't helped us. We need to get rid of them and get new people and help us move up. So there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. But that's neither here or there. I'm just saying from these two guys getting together and building something together, I just don't see it happening because they have two different ideologies for the betterment of black people. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's just me, but I think you have a couple other things to build before you get to building something else. If you actually took time off from doing interviews with 80 different platforms, you can actually focus on building the school and getting it done. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see a debate between Umar and Hughley. Not only would it be entertaining, but it'll also be something that can easily push the culture forward. And let me address this. I see a lot of discourse online from people saying that DL Hughley is ducking the smoke from Umar. Personally, I think DL Hughley would actually do well in a debate against Umar. Keep in mind, DL has been going on CNN to have debates with actual journalists for the last 6 years. And he also has a morning radio show. So obviously the guy...
I don't know about that. I never seen DL Hughley have a debate with an actual journalist. Maybe he had an interview, but and that's not a journalist. That is George Clooney. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you found a bad picture. I don't know, but that is not a debate. Now, George Clooney, he does dibble and dabble into politics, but George Clooney is not what you would say he's a politician or whatever. He has influence, but that's about it. But I never seen, and on top of that, DL Hughley and George Clooney, they stand on the same side because George Clooney believes most of the stuff that DL believes. But him debating Umar, I'm gonna put it to you like this: there's a reason why a lot of people won't debate Umar. It's a bunch of people that I think that a bunch of people are scared to debate. And let's be clear here: Ben Shapiro is probably one of the best debaters I ever seen. But he is very, very, very afraid. Not say afraid. He do not want to debate Candace Owens. Now, Ben Shapiro is a certified lawyer. He went to school. He's this and that. But for some reason, he won't debate Candace Owens. And the same thing where I would say about a lot of people when it comes to Umar Johnson. They won't debate him. They won't. Now, I'm not saying that DL couldn't hold his own because obviously he learned something. I'm sure if he's into this type of stuff, he had to learn something. But what type of debate would this be? Would this be a straw man debate? Would it be a debate where DL just want to sneak in certain things that has nothing to do with the argument, or they just go back and forth? What type of debate would this be? But I would definitely say that I would lean much more towards Umar in this, and if they ever debated, I would definitely lean more towards Umar. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would do. But I don't know. Maybe if they had a debate, I think they should have a conversation and put it online and talk to each other and give their grievances. I think that DL, he's one of those people, he's like Roland Martin to me. They don't want to talk to nobody because they look at it like, well, if I talk to this person, I could be exposed. And trust and believe, Umar will expose them. He will expose them. Now, maybe DL will be exposed and be something for the better. Who knows? But I'm just saying, to me, it's a wild back and forth if they ever had one.
He knows how to talk. He knows how to articulate himself. I think DL Hughley just doesn't like Umar as a person enough to actually want to share a platform with him. There has to be a third party behind the scenes to actually mediate their beef before these guys can get on the platform together. Now, if I'm Umar Johnson, I'm getting that school up and running by next year, so there's no way DL can duck my smoke anymore. You guys get in the comments.
All right, I'm going to talk about this school thing too. All right, so here's the thing about the Umar school. I don't really know too much about Umar's school. I will say that I do know that it depends on what he's trying to do. If he's trying to start a university and all this stuff, yeah, he has to a lot of competition, a lot of red tape he has to go through. You can't just open a school. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You got to get funding. You got to get all this stuff. People got to understand. And I don't know if Umar has any doctorates or anything like that. I don't know. And he got to have a bunch of. It might have to be some legislation wrote. You can't just open a school. So when y'all say that, oh, where's your school at? You don't know what he has to go through to get that school up and running. You don't. Nobody knows that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying DL is actually sitting there picking on Umar, because I think maybe he's just making a joke. But you don't know. Nobody knows how, what Umar has to do. It could probably take him 10 years to open that school. It could probably take him 20. You don't know. And my thing is, at least he's trying to do something like that. Most of y'all complaining. Y'all don't even try to even help your neighbor cross the street or put their what they call their help your neighbor with their groceries in the house, let alone trying to start a school. Like, come on, man. But either way, man, I'm just saying, I definitely think they should sit down and talk. I think that would be a good thing if they sat down and talked, but I just don't think it's going to happen because they have two different ideologies. They're not the same type of black man. And that's just how I look at it. From the surface, you might think they are because they both stand for black power. But from the outside, I mean, if you think about it, two different type of black powers, I'm telling you. But hey, you know what it is. All right, man, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye, man.